million.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, they should get paid that much. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, especially now with the salary cap rising, Cap's going to make even a little bit more. So
True.
who else? Who else did they cut?
Yeah, but they say with his production, man, it was like
Yeah.
he had like 20. They cut DeMarcus Walker, the D lineman from Tennessee.
Okay. Was it the same thing? His production was low?
No, you know what? I think they keep talking about they're gonna make this big splash as a defensive guy. I mean, I don't know. This was one of them things like wait and see. So,
Well, they got to, they got to make room for the free agents that they want to sign. So,
So, yeah, man, we shall see. We shall see.
One of my guys is now the linebackers coach there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Richard Smith. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of weird because Dennis Allen, who used to be with the Raiders, they let go of the defensive line coach, who was with him at the Raiders, who is the linebackers coach's son.
Wow.
So, but now he's with Tennessee as the defensive line coach in Tennessee. So
it happens like that. Oddly enough.
I know. I was surprised because I thought my guy was going to stay there. I was like, oh, they signed Dennis Allen. They signed his dad. I said, oh yeah, he's definitely going to stay there. Then all of a sudden I get a text like, no, they released him. I was like, what? But he's in Tennessee, so he'll be fine.
And like I say, it happens, unfortunately. But
yeah,
you hope a lot of times in those cases people can pick themselves up and always find other options.
Well, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach. So I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be all right.
So let me ask you this then: being a being in the in behind the scenes, what is usually this time of year like after season ended? You're preparing for combine. What is it like around the facility?
So so last week there was not like a lot of people around the facility because they get a little time off. I mean, the equipment guys are around, athletic trainers are still around. Because some guys will come in and work out on their own, however it is. But this week, because the combine starts on Thursday, so people are in the office. They're going through they're going through their notes. They're looking at draft boards. They're looking at they're looking at free agency, and then of course because free agency starts next week. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they're looking at that. So there's a game plan that's going on, and like I've said before, that throughout the season, that the people behind the scenes, the GM, the scouts, stuff, so on and so forth, are preparing for all this stuff already. But now the coaches are more involved because the seasons are over with. So now the coaches are looking as well. They're looking at tape. They'll start going on, after the combine, they'll start going to workouts, stuff like that as well. And then after the combine, they'll start bringing in potential draft picks. So I remember one year we brought in Dan Morgan. And we brought in Dan. Yeah, we brought in Dan Morgan just for a look. We brought in Steve Smith as well.
Really?
Yeah. We were looking at him too.
So what happened with both of those? They just went too high in the draft. What?
Well, I think with with Dan Morgan, he did go too high in the draft because I believe that was the year that we went to the playoffs, so we had a lower draft pick.
Okay.
Steve Smith, from what I understand, is because I think Steve Smith went in the 3rd round, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about. Let me see.
So,
Good thing about Google, we can look it up.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. And actually, if you look at it, let's look it up and tell me in that case, because I can't remember the year that he came in.
He went. It don't say. Hold on.
Let's see, Steve Smith.
Yeah, he went 3rd round. Yeah, 3rd round.
What
To
year?
Carolina. 21. I mean 21. 2001.
Yeah, so we. Trying to think, who did we draft? Let me take a look. 2001. I think that was the year that we drafted Andre Carter and those guys. And I think Carolina, of course, I think they had a higher pick than we did.
Okay.
But from what I understood, because our wide receivers coach really likes Steve Smith. So, but we looked at you look at other needs, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, who do we take?
Facts.
2001. Oops.
What's up, Ty? She in the chat.
Taya.
But yeah, man, because I'm sure it's it got to be a little calm, but it ain't because you got to prepare for the Indiana and all that. So
yeah. Oh, I was right. So yeah, that was the year we took Andre Carter first, then Jamie Winborn, and then we took Kevin Barlow in the 3rd round.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which was
Yeah.
the first two came out really well for us. Kevin Barlow was he was a little bit different. And then we drafted Cedric Wilson in the 5th round, wide receiver.
Okay.
So yeah. But again, I know for a fact that our wide receivers coach really liked Steve Smith. And he was just like, they're like, well, and he was taken, way before we got him, before we got there. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, you got other needs.
Say it again.
So you got other needs.
Yeah, because at the time, because we still had Jerry, we had T.O., we still had JJ. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They were okay wide receivers
at that time. Yeah, they was all right. They didn't do much.
They were just okay.
But yeah, man, because I just always wondered, especially if you don't make the playoffs or you get knocked out early in the playoffs. I guess it's I ain't gonna call it a curse. It's kind of a gift because you can get started on next season a little earlier.
Well, and that's what that's what you got the scouts and administrators for, because they start, even and again, the coaches, when they're in the playoffs, that's you're focused on the playoffs. You're focused on and every now and then the coaches will take a peek and say, hey, what do you guys think? And just because it's kind of like their break, away from the game plan, and it's and some people look at that as, well, that's not really a break from work, but you got to understand too that for them it's fun. That's what they live for,
right?
So yeah, but it's like you said, it's calm, but it's not, because people are always in meetings. They're looking at certain players. They're they're reaching out to their college coaches. It's there's a lot that goes on.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I remember I remember a few things. I remember the first time they asked me to evaluate a couple of players, just on their strength, their athletic ability, movement, the whole deal. And I was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
But then also too, what they did was they're like, hey, if you want to go visit a couple of colleges, let us know. I'm like, really? Like, yeah. So like my grandmother lived in Ohio. She lived in Columbus, Ohio. She lived right down the street right down the road from Ohio State.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ohio State was always on my list.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I
because I
bet.
would go, yeah, because I would go see my grandmother, spend
Yeah.
some days with her, go to Ohio State, visit them. Then we had a couple of players that lived in the area, so I would go to
Mhm.
dinner with them, and then I would
Mhm.
drive over to like Pittsburgh. Go to University of Pittsburgh because University of Pittsburgh and the Steelers are like, they share a facility.
Okay.
So I would go over there. So wherever I wanted to go, they basically said, yeah, you can go. Or I'd go back home to Minnesota.
Yeah, that ain't
Go by
bad.
the go by the U. So yeah.
That ain't bad. Then you got that kind of that kind of leeway. That shoot, that ain't bad at all. And
No,
then
no, not,
want to see grandma kill two in one.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, then what I would also do is I would go to different sports. So like the Columbus Blue Jackets, a hockey team.
Hmm.
I would reach out to their strength coach and say, hey, can I come by and see what you guys do? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah. One year I reached out to the New York Mets because I knew the strength coaches, and I said, can I come by? Because they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then when they came out here to play the Giants, they came to practice. They came to our off-season workouts and they watched what we did. So and that's one thing. I don't know how many strength coaches actually did that. I just did it because I just wanted to learn different things. Like we had the Sacramento Kings. I would reach out to them and I'd go up there and watch them practice, and they would come down and watch us. The Chicago Cubs, one of my closest friends actually played for the Cubs at the time. So I
Who?
reached out to their strength coach,
Who?
and
Who was your boy?
Bobby Hill.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he played second base for them.
Okay.
So I reached out to their strength coach and I said, during the off season, can I just come down to spring training? Like, yeah. So I did that for 3 years, where I would go to spring training, and it got to a point where I started helping out just around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that ain't bad. Shoot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it seems dope, man. And baseball, and although they're very different, a lot of them injuries kind of
Yeah.
similar. Pitchers and batters, football play, quarterbacks like that. So
Yeah, because even though it's different sports, there's some similar movements. So I would just take like little tips that they would do. It's like, oh, I can incorporate this into what we're doing here. Just change it up for us. So the first time I went down for the Cubs, the strength coach goes, I'm gonna walk you in and introduce you to the manager. And I knew who the manager was, Dusty Baker, and I knew Dusty.
Yeah.
But I never told the strength coach that I knew Dusty, because when Dusty was here with the Giants, he would come up and see us all the time. So I walk into Dusty's office, and Dusty goes, T, what are you doing here? I said, oh, I'm going to be working with Tim for the next few days. He goes, oh, that's awesome. So we started talking. Tim looked at me. He's like, you didn't tell me you knew Dusty. I was like, well, I just didn't want to throw that card out there.
Yeah.
But when I walked in his office, Bobby Bonilla was in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Bobby Bonilla. I said, when's your day coming up? He goes, July. And everybody started laughing because, he signed that long-term contract with the Mets.
Yeah.
Where he gets, I think he's still getting paid. It's like something like 20 years.
I saw that. I'm like, man. Yeah. But I mean, I guess with baseball, you making money hand over fist. So that probably ain't nothing to them. But yeah, to have a contract like that is crazy.
Well, they did it they thought they were saving money. Because of the salary cap. They thought they were doing that, and he was like, he goes, I'll defer the payments. And it was like something like a 1.1, something like that every year for 20 years, something crazy like that. Like,
yeah,
man, good for you.
Yeah. You can't beat that, man.
But I mean, so yeah. So and this, so because wait a minute, are you a Cubs or a White Sox fan?
I'm a Sox fan.
Yeah.
We're not doing that well, T.
I know.
Look at you like.
Yeah, yeah. You picked the wrong side.
Man, look, hey, man, when you grow up out south, it's just south suburb, south side. It's a given, And then like for us here, the Sox were the first one to win this century. They
That's
won
true.
'05. The Cubs. They was just being here is different because people be like, oh, Cub this, Cub that, but like being here, them
Yeah.
Cub fans were like, we don't know when this will happen because and it's like that with a lot of sport teams. You never know when it's your year,
No,
but
you're
it
right.
just happens that it comes to be.
Yeah, yeah. So when I the first year I worked with the Cubs, that's where I get to meet Sammy Sosa, Moises
Yeah,
Alou, Mark Pryor, Alex Gonzalez, and those. I mean, and I'll tell you what. This is one thing about sports is
Mhm.
that professional athletes want to know what other professional athletes do. So I sat there and talked to them about everybody. They were asking me
Yeah,
so many questions about Steve Young, about Jerry and stuff, So it was fun, and I would ask them different questions as well, like, "Hey, so
yeah.
what do you guys do for this? What do you do for this?" And it was, because I'm a baseball fan. I
Yeah.
think there's only 7 parks that I haven't been to yet, and I'm going to get that done in the next couple of years.
Really?
But yeah, but I guess
What's the 7? Do you know right off top?
well, okay, so it's funny because my friend said that I shouldn't count them. So both the New York stadiums, because they're new. I had been to the old ones. They're like, no, you
Okay,
still can count those.
okay,
I'm like, okay.
okay. Yeah, you gotta
Philadelphia,
go to the to the renovated ones now. Come on, man.
yeah. So I haven't been to Philadelphia. I haven't
Okay.
been to Colorado. I haven't been to Atlanta. I
Okay.
haven't been to the White Sox new one. I went to the old. I went to Kaminsky. I went to the
You're not.
old one.
Hey, you're not missing nothing. But go ahead. Go ahead. What's up, Minister Man? But yeah, hey, but go ahead, get it off, man. Go ahead. I'm just letting you know, from my perspective,
Uh,
you're not missing anything. But go ahead.
okay. But you know what? I got to mark it off my list. I got to mark it off my list.
Uh,
Uh, I haven't been to Atlanta, and I haven't been to Toronto. Those are the only ones.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because OG, how long has it been since the Braves moved? How long have they been out of Atlanta? I guess.
what you mean from downtown to Cobb? Oh God, about 5, anywhere from 5 to 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because y'all got like a district now, right? They got like an entertainment district around the park.
Yeah, battery. Yes, the battery.
Okay.
Minister
Yeah.
Van,
Yeah,
what's
so it's a
I don't know if I said that already.
it's the like a shops, restaurants, apartments, stuff like that around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
you
an
know what?
all day process.
Yeah. You know what? And I haven't been to Baltimore. I haven't been to Baltimore. That's another one I haven't been to. So those
Okay.
are the 7. So when I was in the Niners, what I would used to do is I used to look at our schedules in the fall and see where we're going. And if there's a
Yeah.
ballpark close, I'm going.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, no, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Because usually like if we're going out east, we fly in on Friday, right?
Yeah,
Saturday we have a walkthrough in the morning, and
yeah,
everybody's like, "What are you doing for lunch?" I said, "There's a baseball stadium. I'm going to watch a game." They're like, "What?" A couple guys would go with me. They'd be like, because they knew how much I love it. Because the thing for me for baseball, there's so much time in between pitches and stuff like that. I can just
yeah,
sit and relax. I don't have to
yeah,
think about a damn thing. I can eat whatever
yeah.
I want and just sit and relax. So yeah. So yeah.
I'm trying that with NFL stadiums. I've been uh I've been to really just Vegas, which is really nice. People trip.
Yeah.
People be like, "Oh, Vegas is this." I'm like, "No, Vegas is really nice."
Nah,
Like the
yeah, I
whole
was there. Yeah.
ambiance, the pregame, all that.
Yep.
You got Chris Angel doing a little straight jacket thing pregame.
Yep.
And the one game I did go to, Ludacris was at halftime. I'm like, this is some different kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I chose the best game to go to, boy.
Well, they do that with the hockey team, with the Golden Knights,
Oh, do
where
they?
it's a
Oh, so
whole
they do
it's a
the
whole
same thing.
Vegas presentation.
Okay.
It's huge. I'm trying to think. So the only stadiums that I haven't been to is Baltimore. No, I take that back. I've been to Baltimore. Buffalo. I haven't been to Buffalo, and I haven't been to Detroit.
Okay.
I think those are the only 2 that I have not been to. Oh,
Mine
Texas.
don't-
Texas and
Speak-
Jacksonville. Those
Speaking of
4.
baseball, though, I do like, because I remember I told you last year or year before last when we went to Minnesota. I think it is dope At
Oh,
a
you went to
baseball stadium
field?
right across the street from the Timberwolves stadium.
You,
I'm
wait,
like,
you,
what? Remember I told you when we was
right?
going
That's
to
right.
the
You did.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Saw the Prince mural
yeah.
not too far now. I was like, this is kind of dope how they set this up. They're
Oh, yeah.
smart. They're
Yeah.
smart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because everything is like right downtown. Everything's like right in walking distance. Yeah. So, I mean, every time when I plan my trips home, I always look at the schedule, see if the Twins are in town. If the Twins are in town, I'm going. Everybody knows I am going to the It's got to a point now when I come to town or I say, hey, I'm going to come in this day. My nieces will go, are the Twins playing? I'm like, what do you think? Like, okay. So I take my nieces.
They already know. Hey, that's all that matters, man. They already know.
Exactly. And they love going because I spoiled the shit out of them. They're like, all right, what do you want?
Right, whatever works.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is funny.
I'm gonna say as of right now, Vegas may have the best stadium. I ain't been to the other 30 teams, but I've been to that Vegas, man. So.
I'll tell you what, and I'm a little bit biased, but go to US Bank Stadium in Minnesota. They did that thing right. That thing is like, woo! It's SoFi.
Yeah. It looked like it. It looked like it just from the out, from driving past it.
Yeah.
It looked like a big old glass.
It looks like a ship. It looks like a ship.
Yeah. I'm like, this is pretty. The way they set this up.
It looks like the mothership. It looks like George Clinton's going to come down with a big ass joint in his mouth. So
we want the funk.
Exactly.
Gotta have that funk.
OG. That was the first concert I ever went to. I think it was like 10 or 12.
What's that?
It was Parliament, Rufus and Shaka Khan, and Mandrill.
Hey.
Yep.
You remember the Budweiser Superfest?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I went the one I remember going to was at the Rose Bowl. Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang.
Oh man.
Ohio players. George were they there? It was somebody else. I can't remember, but I know that was an all day, all night.
I'll tell you what, people who've never seen Parliament Funkadelic in concert, y'all missed out.
Jesus.
And the thing is that you couldn't be in the front row if you didn't want the secondhand smoke.
I want front row tickets, please.
Because they used to roll out this big skull and would take a big ass joint and put it in his mouth and light it up.
That's when you do a whole lot on stage that you can't do now.
Exactly.
Yeah, now
I told Swab this last year. I consider that my first official concert because I could see everything. But when I was younger, my mom and dad originally from Columbus, Ohio, so we went to State Fair. I was like 6 or 7. I still remember this. And at the State Fair, it was the Temptations, James Brown, and the Jackson 5.
Yeah, I remember you did tell us that.
Yeah.
Dang, that's
at the State Fair?
At the State Fair. That's when the State Fairs used to be like on. Yes.
And you got to think people was a lot more humbler back then.
Right.
Like, all right, we'll go and perform there. Now, shoot, you can't.
Well, I mean, black people, that's all we could get.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, even like even older artists today will be like, I ain't performing at that. It's like, bro, you ain't put out a hit in like 30 years.
Hey,
you need to
I would say this though. The Minnesota State Fair,
yeah.
Mint Condition comes back almost every year.
Oh wow.
Sometimes the time will come through. So yeah, I mean,
that's one I would go see.
Wait.
Time when you,
Wait.
woo!
You've never seen The Time?
Not live, no.
Dude, I saw Vanity Six, The Time, and Prince. It was the 1999 tour. It was off the hook. It was off the hook.
Minister Van said Earth, Wind, and Fire to me gave us one of the best concerts back in the day.
I think they're playing in LA this year over 4th of July weekend for 3 days at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think me and a couple of my friends were going to go.
Why not?
That's a great place. That's a great place to go see a concert, though.
You see, and I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have a good time. You'll have a great time if you go.
Okay.
The venue is outstanding. I mean, if you try, of course, they have screens on the side, but if you don't care about really seeing the stage and just enjoying the aesthetics of the place,
gotcha.
You can sit anywhere. And you're gonna have a great time.
All right. It's gonna be on my list. So
where's the Hollywood Bowl at in California?
Right on the other side of Hollywood. So it's
okay.
You have Sunset, Hollywood. You go about 3-4 lights, and it'll be on your left.
Okay.
So it's on your way. It's in between Hollywood and Universal Studios.
Okay, you know the city. You know what the city when you say it's about 3 or 4 lights.
Yeah.
No, because I'm looking. I can see it. You know what I mean? I'm counting the streets as we go. I'm like, yeah, it's about 3 or 4 lights to your right, to your left of me.
Now, if you make that third left, you lost.
Yeah.
Hey, you make that third left.
If you go around, put it this way: if you go around a big curve, you went too far.
You may be over there with the Mexicans. I don't know.
Because you're gonna end up in Universal City.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've been there a few times. Like, woo. But you're right. But if you go past the chicken joint, you've gone too damn far. So.
Right. Exactly. The fourth light, not the third. The fourth.
You'll see it. So if you pass it, that's on you. I can't help you after that.
You can't miss it.
Oh man, that's a good place.
Yeah. So what's the first concert you've been to?
If you like what, Van? Hold on 1 second. If you like dark and people trying to take your wallet, don't go to any concerts at MSG. Dang, Minister, it's like that. I guess Madison Square Garden ain't pleasant. Don't ever go to concerts at Madison Square Garden. All right. He would
I had a good time at Madison Square.
What'd you go see there?
Jay-Z and Mary J.
Oh. How was that?
Mary wasn't on her best that night, so it was
she was sick, man. She was sick.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Talk about that after we end this live. Minister Man said he went to a Jay-Z concert and his homeboy almost lost his wallet. Damn. Well,
that's not Jay-Z's fault.
We don't know.
That's just New York, period.
It could be, yeah. You could probably say that about all these sporting areas. Mary J was great in here in Texas at the Toyota Center. Okay. All right. So I guess she redeemed herself the night after she saw you, OG. But
hey, I guess.
See, we got this concert here on Hoffman Estates. I want to say it's Hoffman Estates, called the Big Jam. When I was in high school, I forget who was performing. Man, I'm trying to think. We was in high school and they gave us like free tickets, and it was actually to kick off the basketball season. You know, basketball is the
Yeah.
biggest sport in Chicago, Illinois, and that was probably my first concert. But shoot, this year I'm going to see Kendrick when he come
Right.
here. Yeah, when he coming to Soldier Field in June. So
Okay.
yeah, going to see him. Might be one of his last concerts. You never know with him. Might.
Hey, he's not gonna be like D'Angelo, so don't worry about that.
We're not gonna go there.
I
Um,
wouldn't put nobody in the same thing as D'Angelo. Let's leave Edmund by himself.
But I will tell you this. I just watched the Sly and the Family Stone documentary. It's really good. D'Angelo's all in it. He's talking about how Sly was one of his biggest influencers. So
I know his ex.
D'Angelo's. Okay.
tell us about that too after this live.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'm just saying. I just know her from working at the station. So, see, cool people. Cool people.
So
Hey, for somebody who's talented, that dude is just like on a different planet. He's on his own time.
He's off his rocker, boy.
They say there's a fine line between genius and madness. So there you go.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that one.
All right, so go ahead.
So we got to talk about it.
Uh-oh.
OG's team, them Lakers, man, win big last night against Denver. I ain't gonna lie. When Denver kind of closed that gap, I was like, all right, maybe the Lakers gonna lose. But that boy Luka came out hot. What he had 16 in the first quarter.
What did he drop? 32 overall.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could. All I can say is right now, he's did something that Darvin Ham couldn't do. Beat Denver.
Now, okay, so let me ask this then: Is that could that be because now you got another scorer like Luka? Not saying AD wasn't, but I mean, you got Luka. Addition by subtraction, I would say.
Yeah, but you got scoring, but you also lost defense. So you see what I mean? And rebounding. So it's kind of I can't really say because of Luka. I can't say any of that. It's just that right now, the way they're playing ball together is like they're still trying to learn. So everybody's not holding on to the ball. It's like, okay, you're open. I'm definitely getting rid of the ball. Yeah. You're open. I'm passing it. It's not you're open. I'm away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's the difference, but I think that's what the mood is right now because you don't understand. I mean, Luka doesn't know all the plays yet. He doesn't know how people want the ball. You still learn how to play together. Mm-hmm. And the best way to do that is continue to move the ball so you can show after in the timeout, hey, next time give me a half a beat or hit me a little bit earlier. And then you start learning. And then, I think it'll slow down a little bit. But right now, second round, if we make it to the second round of the playoffs, I'm happy. We make it to the conference. Yeah. But I don't expect us to go to get no title this year. Not with the team we got. But it's a good win. It's a good first step.
You're not drinking that Shannon Sharp Kool-Aid? Talking about I say you ain't drinking that Shannon Sharp Kool-Aid, talking about beating OKC and the finals and all that. I'm like, come on, man. Let's relax.
Because how you gonna beat somebody that got 2 7-footers? OKC got 2 of them.
True.
And they can put them on the floor at the same time, and we don't have 2-footers. We can match up with that. Nobody really has 2 7-footers to match up with that in the West.
No, you're right. Also too, I think when they traded Anthony Davis, it was a wake up call for everybody else. They're like, damn, if you're gonna trade him, So
yeah, I can see that what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it lit a fire under some people's butts. I really do. So
now, but you also look at it as okay, we're getting ready for the future. We could have did it with AD, but 31, 25, 26. At what point who would you want to start the team over with?
You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think two things gonna be right in this one because I think it did light a fire to say, hey, if they could trade AD, nobody is safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think too though with that, Luka's really his only issue is just getting in shape. That's the only problem he has. I think that's where
And playing defense.
I think that's where a lot of his what I'm saying, just Dave thing about Luka is look, he's big. He's a little too big. But it works for him. Hey, he can still drop 40 and he 260, 270.
But you also got to understand, and T, you can let me know if I'm on the right track when I say this. He's 25. He's developed bad habits at 16.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? So that 6-year window, that's what you got. But now I think he's starting to realize that he does have to get in shape. He does have to kind of, you know what I mean? I think because no one, I don't know how to, T, am I on the right track of what I'm trying, you know what I mean?
No, you're definitely on the right track because if you think about it, we all know as you get older, it's harder to get in shape. You don't recover as fast, right?
Yes.
Right.
I think he's finally realizing that, because again, before they traded him, he hadn't played since December 27th. And you're
Christmas Day. Christmas.
Yeah. You're 25 years old. And that you weren't even halfway through the season yet, and you're already out. So no, you're OG. You're definitely on the right track. Yeah.
So
now, is that just from a learning process? Does all athletes have that kind of transformation period, like coming from college, going to any type of pros?
No.
Before you answer that, T, have you ever seen in a case where somebody, like a light goes off, where somebody starts to take their health a lot more serious the older they're getting? Well, like in his case.
Well, I will tell you this. Jeff Ulbrich, who's now the defensive coordinator at Atlanta.
Yeah.
We drafted him in the 3rd round.
Okay.
I think it was 2000 when we drafted him, 99. Anyway, and he came to us from Hawaii at 253.
Damn.
And he was a linebacker. So his first couple practices, he was just like, shit, like this is faster than I anticipated.
Yeah.
So what he did was he's like, if I stay here with you guys during the off season, can you guys get me in shape? Can you guys get me in better shape? We're like, yeah. He started the season at 240. And he could run sideline to sideline like no other. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Where was he at first, Jeff? Like, because I've seen him before. Where was he the coach of before?
He was with the Jets. He was an
intern, right? Intern head coach.
Yes. So so certain players will start looking at it. They should start looking at it sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
but we know it's like anything else. Some athletes just don't have. They rely on that natural ability that they have because it's like, well, this has always got me through high school, college, the whole deal.
Right.
But then they get to a certain age or they get to a certain level in the pros. Are like, oh shit.
Right.
Like I really need to turn this up. Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Because we've had players before that don't.
Yeah.
And some I've seen some that are high draft picks, and who just didn't take it seriously until sometimes it's too late. So yeah. But the thing with Luka is, I'm surprised it took him this long to actually realize it, because number one, he's European, right? And you look at Jokic. When Jokic got drafted, he was the same way, but he's like, shit. He goes, this is no joke. He goes, if I want to be a good player, I'm going to have to get in better shape.
Yeah.
And he did, and those Europeans, they all get together, they talk. And again, I'm surprised that it's taken Luka this long, and I'll go back to, what your boy Landon said, which he was wrong, is I know the training staff there. I know how good they are. And I know that they were constantly in his ear saying, dude, during the offseason, you have to get in better shape.
Yeah.
And he just relied on his natural ability. So,
but you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
yeah, unless you take their head and stick it in the damn
water. So that's why, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, I can't put the blame on anybody but that person, because that person has to want to do it. You can have the training staff, you can have top-notch equipment, everything, but you can't make them pick the weights up.
No, you can't. You can't, And this is where Landon went wrong. He started blaming the athletic training staff. Okay, so there's two differences here. Okay, you have the strength and conditioning staff, you have the athletic training staff. Strength and conditioning staff, which I was on, we're the ones that get the people in shape. Athletic training staffs are the ones that help them with their injuries. Total difference. Totally different. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I knew that, but I think that was kind of important what you just said, because I don't think a lot of people knew the difference between the two.
No, they don't. And this is just me though. When people would say, "Oh yeah, you used to be a personal trainer for the Niners," I said, "No, I was a strength coach." They're like, "No, personal trainer." I said, "No, there's a difference." They're like, "Well, what's the difference?" I said, "We go to school, we get our degrees, we get certifications." I said, "It's like calling a lawyer a fucking paralegal." No, there's a difference. I'm not the guy in 24-hour fitness working out with the gym rats. That's not me. I'm working with professional athletes. Damn it.
But no, Minister, you're 100% right. Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that diet correct. You got to. And
then also, is it his diet, or is it just that's what he's used to eating? You know what I mean? You got to think about it. He's been doing this since he was a kid. This is nothing new.
But to that point, you making that choice to keep eating that stuff.
But yeah, and here's the deal. What they have now, as far as facilities and kitchen and chefs, it's a whole different thing than what we had. So what we used to do, and they relied on us, the strength and conditioning staff, we're the ones that went out. We had to go to the sandwich shop or go get the breakfast burritos and make sure that they were nutritious enough. And we used to stick them in coolers and bring them to the facilities. Nowadays, you walk into they have kitchens in every freaking facility. Every one.
Wait. Yeah. Back up. Say that again. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't always have you always didn't have cafeterias and stuff. Y'all had to go get the food for the players?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So when did the kitchen come into
Well, the kitchen started coming in first, okay, so we went from us getting the food to then we hired a caterer, okay? And, and my boss, who was like one of the smartest men on the planet Earth, he would sit there and say, "This is what we need. This is what this is what we have to do." Because the players would want they want all the fried stuff. They're like, no, you can't have that. Do that on your own time. And then it got to a point where teams started looking like, well, wait a minute. We've got all this, we've got all this space. Let's build our own kitchens. Let's bring in our own chefs. Well, then guess what? It turned into a competition. Because now you're attracting free agents, right?
Okay.
So now everybody started saying, okay, we can expand, our facilities or build new facilities, and we can have a massage therapy room. We can bring in, chefs and stuff. We can bring in yoga instructors, And the funny thing is again, I'll go to my old boss, Jerry Attaway. Jerry kept saying this for such a long time when I was there, because we had a lot of dead space at the facility. And he would say, let's build a kitchen here. Let's expand the weight room. Let's have a massage therapy room. Let's have a yoga room. And they would look at him like, well, we don't want to spend the money. And he's like, well, it's going to help the players. And it's funny because every time I go back to the Niners facility now, I sit there and laugh. And the people that are there who were there when I was there, and there's only like maybe 2 or 3, and they laugh. They're like, yeah, every time you come in here, your eyes get big because you're like, we should have had this when I was here. Our
Well,
weight room was 2,200 square feet, and it was designed by these architects that had all these little nooks and crannies that didn't help us at all. I go out there now; they've got their own building. It's 10,000 square feet. 10,000 square feet.
I'm just being funny when I say this. Is massage tables taboo in football now?
Come on, dog.
Nope. Because guess what?
Come on, man.
OG. They have here's the thing. I know where you're going, but they have a big, so at least with the Niners, they have a big room where they have 10, I don't know how many massage tables. And people are there to oversee everything. So there you go. So yeah. Now if you go off site to a private one, that's on you. That's on you.
Oh.
Yep.
Jesus, boy, times have changed. Times have changed. Jeez.
Well, and think about what they're doing in college nowadays. You think about you go into some of these locker rooms now, you're like, damn.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's they put so much money into facilities because again, it's a competition. You know, you're trying to draw the best of the best to come there, right? So
True.
Got to have the best for the best. I get it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
So
crazy.
we're gonna switch gears from the association to the Shield. Where do y'all see some of these free agents going? Do y'all see some people moving around? You got, speculation of, OG's guy may not be there. I think he is. Yeah, I think he will be because it would be crazy to trade him unless you can get a hell of a haul for him.
Or maybe you do this. You swap him for Myles Garrett.
Where is he from? Is Myles Garrett? I know he's from Texas. Is he from Dallas? Well,
It doesn't matter. It's from Texas. It don't matter, right? This is just my opinion because I got to sit with Dan Quinn and talk to him about Micah. With Micah, you can do more things with Micah than you can do with Myles Garrett, and I'm not saying that Myles Garrett is not a Hall of Fame player because he is. But with Micah, you can move him around. You can put him in the middle. You can put him off to the, you can put him onto the edge. You can drop back into coverage. He's a freak. He's a different cat. So, but if Dallas is smart, they would not let him go whatsoever. So
no, you need linebackers. So I always thought he was best as a linebacker. Because that way you don't know if he's rushing. You don't know if he's taking coverage. You don't know what he's about to do. You can move him from side to side, but when you put him on the line, you kind of just make him one-dimensional. And then you got him going against big boys all day, and he's not this. I'm not saying he's not strong, but the games you be watching, he's not bull rushing a lot of big guys. He's bull rushing the guard and coming off the center. Or he's just speed rushing.
But if you watch the difference between when Dan was there and then when Mike Zimmer was there, you saw a drop off, didn't you?
Yeah, but you also that was one of my pet peeves with Dan is that you left him on the end and just sent him to rush.
No, because Dan dropped him in coverage as well.
He didn't go into coverage a lot.
Yeah, he did. If you go back and watch it, yeah, he did.
I will. I mean, I'm watching the games, and I'm telling you, he may have went to coverage.
Yeah,
but most 99% of the time, he was going after the quarterback, and that was our problem. Because they was running right at him.
But if you look at it too, look, those were his best years. The last couple of years that he's been under Zimmer.
Zimmer's was only there 1 year,
but still, he didn't have a great year.
But you learn a new defensive scheme.
But see, that's the thing, though. You may have a different scheme, but if you have certain players and you look at what what they've done very well in certain schemes. You insert those schemes. That's what you do. You put them in the best positions that they possibly can, right?
I get it, but also
Zimmer didn't do
he's
that.
not. That's what I'm saying. When you rushed so much, that takes away from your. To me, it takes away from your effectiveness because they know where you're going to be. You're coming off the right end. You're coming off the left end. That's it. When he was at the linebacker position, then you don't know he can walk up, drop back. He can walk up and not even move. He can walk up and blitz. But at the defensive end, that's a different. It's the same thing over and over.
Well, that's what they draft him as. They draft him as an edge rusher.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's not an edge rusher. He should be a linebacker. To me, that's the best way to use him.
He's an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher. Yeah. But again, he's just more versatile.
Zimmer didn't use Parsons properly.
Yeah. But he's just more versatile than Myles Garrett is.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
But Myles Garrett, that's a big cat. That monster. Ooh, jeez.
But I think it's the difference between a true DN and a linebacker DN.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but you got to think, a lot. They're looking for that now because like Von Miller and them. All bendy.
It's cute. It's a great, switch up. But if I want a DN, I want a DN. I want somebody that's big enough to handle all that pressure and that constant pushing all the time.
Yeah, but you got to
linebacker DNs don't have that. Can't hold up to that.
Yeah, well, but some can because you look at T.J. Watt. He was a linebacker, and
you look at T.J. Watt. Half the time he's hurt or he's sitting on the sidelines in the fourth quarter because he's tired.
But you got to remember too, he was not last year, but the year before he had 22 sacks.
Right.
So but again, it doesn't matter because the thing is that you're going to get beat up regardless. It's just the nature of the game. Even Myles Garrett, there's times where he has to sit out. There's times he's injured. It's just the nature of the game. That's all it is. And they want that speed. They want those edge rushers. So
yeah.
Okay, but you can also have speed coming from your linebacker position, blitzing. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get it. I'm just saying that's my preference. That's what I like.
Yeah,
that's it.
But even with the linebackers, if you have them coming in, so let's say I'm trying to think. Well, you can't use Fred Warner. He's a different cat. But so let's say that you have a linebacker that's coming in. Okay, that's probably 250, 255. You got him blitzing. If you got a good offensive line, they're going to pick that up right away. So, and that's going to free up the edge rushers. But if you got a linebacker coming in, let's say he's coming to the A gap, he's going against a center that's 3-something. Or a guard that's 3-something.
Okay.
Still. But yeah, but again, it's different schemes. If you have a 3-4,
that's
a whole different conversation.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Micah is not a put your hand in the dirt, down in and down out defensive end. He's not big enough to me. He's not. That's what I'm saying. He's best as a linebacker, outside linebacker, where because he can cover. He can cover.
I and this is just me, but I like him as a defensive end because there's so many things you can do with him. That's just me. And then I was thinking about this too. He's not afraid to play the run. He is not afraid to play the run whatsoever.
No, but I would if you look at any game that he plays, we play against Philly, they ran at him on purpose. Because
they're double teaming him too. So
no, but they also know he's coming straight in and he doesn't know how to recognize plays.
No, he does. Yes, he does. Watch him. Because he recognizes certain things. He really does.
Yeah, the quarterback. Because they make those screens and run at him all the time. That's what I'm saying. Because he's coming straight at people.
But no, he's not. You're trying to say he's one-dimensional. He's not one-dimensional. Because and I don't know
Okay.
the stat, but I would love to see the stat to see who led them in tackles last year.
He can lead you in tackles, but if most of your plays are blitzing and not coverage,
But he's not blitzing. If he's in the end, he's not blitzing. He's right.
he's not covering. He's going after the quarterback. He's not covering.
Right.
He's not covering.
But also too, he's playing the run.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Y'all,
No, I get it, but I'm looking at my team and they running right at the cat. That's what I'm saying. I get what T is saying, but the film shows that he gets ran at because he's coming in for the quarterback. He's not playing the run.
He is playing the run. He is playing the run. Oh, gee, let's go back and watch. Let's see how many times if they're running, how many people are pulling with him. Let's see how many people are they're actually putting them on.
Okay.
But he does play the run.
Okay.
all right. So I'm gonna ask y'all this. We got the top 5 free agents. I just want to know if they stay where they at or if they going elsewhere.
Okay.
T. Higgins.
Going.
No, they're franchise tagging his ass.
No, so you saying he stay? And OG, you saying he going?
He's going.
Okay.
They're not. They're going to franchise tag him.
2 years in a row, so he can be Kirk Cousins. Okay.
They're-
Not for a wide receiver, I wouldn't.
They're well because if you think about it, they've got to sign. They've got to sign Jamar Chase, and they should have done it last year, right?
Yeah.
Now it's going to cost them even more because he won the Triple Crown. Trey Higgins is 30. Trey Higgins is 31 years old. They may let him go.
Who?
Trey Hendricks. Sorry, Trey Hendricks.
Oh, I'm about to say, dang, T. Higgins 31? God.
No. Trey Hendricks.
About to say, dang, I didn't know he was that old. All right.
Yeah. So Trey Hendricks, he led the leagues in sacks last year.
Okay.
But he's 31. They're probably going to let him go. They're probably going to franchise tag T. Higgins again.
So if they franchise tag him this year, he's not going to be there next year.
No.
So now you putting him out there, so he's guaranteed whatever he's getting, guaranteed for the rest of his life.
So
More than likely.
not for the rest of his life, but
If they sign him,
As long as he's playing, playing ball, all his contracts are guaranteed.
No.
That's only a fee in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. So what they
Wait. It's the same thing they did to Kirk Cousins.
But
Kirk
And all his contracts are guaranteed.
Well, that's because he had a good agent.
yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
No, that's because of the franchise tag, I thought. Because you can't once you get tagged twice, you automatically get
By that team.
Okay.
By that team.
No, they can't.
Okay.
No. So what they may do with T. Higgins, they may franchise tag him and then try to work out a long-term extension
During the season.
Exactly. Yeah, but just because a team franchise tags you doesn't mean that you get guaranteed contracts with that team or any other team for the rest of your career. That's not the way it works.
Okay, so why don't nobody franchise tag nobody more than once? Besides Kirk Cousins.
Because sometimes they work out long-term extensions. Sometimes they're like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna let them go.
Okay.
But Kirk Cousins hasn't been franchise tagged at all. They just worked out long-term extensions with him. That's all.
He was franchised twice in Washington.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. And then after that,
everything has been guaranteed. Everything has been guaranteed.
Yeah, but that's because of his agents, not because of. There's no NFL rule that says that you have to.
Okay. So they must have reported that wrong when it happened because that's what they were saying.
No, and they were wrong.
Washington
couldn't
franchise him no more than the 2 times they did.
Right, exactly.
Washington.
That's not what they were saying.
Well, see,
that's all I'm saying. That's the information I got. I will look it up later, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, look at it. Because the thing is that Kirk Cousins was the first one I think he was the first quarterback. I think he may be the first player ever to get his contract fully guaranteed because his agent worked it out with the Vikings because the Vikings needed a quarterback that bad.
And then Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Because even now, Kirk Cousins, his contract with the Falcons, it's not fully guaranteed.
Something like
not 50 million, but 100 of it is. Because he was getting paid 50 for 2 years. So the 100 of it was guaranteed regardless.
Well, but so the full contract was 180 million.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's not fully guaranteed.
So Trey Smith, is he staying or going? Guard for the Kansas City Chiefs.
As bad as their offensive line was this year, I think he's going to stay.
Okay.
And I think they're going to draft. I think they're going to try to draft to bring in free agents on both tackles.
Okay.
I'm not sure on that one. Not sure.
Okay. I'm gonna just go off with some names we may all know. Chris Godwin, does he stay or go?
Oh, they got to keep him.
Yeah, I think he stays.
Yeah. He's
Khalil
coming off that ankle injury too. So.
Right. Khalil Mack.
Where's he at now?
Chargers.
I think he's
gone. He might stay.
I think he's gone.
Okay. All right. Amari Cooper is in Buffalo.
He's going someplace else.
Okay.
You know what? Okay, and I want both of y'all's opinion on this. Okay, have we ever seen a wide receiver that good get traded so many times?
It's just like a fall from grace. It's like
it's not with him, but it's not even a fall from grace from him because he's a good receiver. He runs some of the best routes.
Well, I'm talking about as far as like stats and things like that. Because I mean, even if you look at Buffalo, the first game he got there was probably the best game he had all year.
But OG, you can speak to this. Even when he's with the Cowboys, we know he wasn't their number one, right? But still, when they needed a big possession, who do they go to?
Yeah.
Well, he was our number one, unfortunately, because CD was just young. So he was definitely our number one.
But then after a while, then it kind of shifted to CD where they're like, okay, we have to start giving CD the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, because he was open. Because they were double teaming Amari.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they left him open. So that's why he was running more in the slots and stuff like that because of Amari. That helped him grow.
Yep.
I think Amari is always going to be. It was a great way to put it without being disrespectful. He's a great Batman, Robin / all-in-one. He can be your number one, but he also can be your decoy and let other people eat. Yeah. If that makes sense.
He's a great Robin to someone's Batman.
But he's also a Batman.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because he's still a number one.
Yeah.
And certainly he can be a number one.
Well,
but if you have a number one, he's that great Robin to that number one.
Well, we definitely know that he's not a Joker or a Penguin or a Harley Quinn. So.
Hey.
I'm done with you. I'm done. Oh God.
But also, here's the thing about Amari Cooper is that he brings so much to the young wide receivers. He brings so much to the locker room as well. That somebody's, this is going to be what, his 12th, 13th season, something like that.
Yeah, they say 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm a team, I'm getting. He's 30. I'm hiring him I'm gonna get him as a receiver. Then I'm gonna pay him to be a wide receivers coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, because again, he brings so much to the locker room and so much,
Yeah.
during practice, because he is one of the best route runners that we've ever seen. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
Yeah, he's gone, Swab. He's gone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sam Darnold.
That
Gone.
I
Gone.
think the Vikings have to sign him. I think the Vikings have to sign him.
Do you say that because the level of uncertainty?
Yeah, because the level of uncertainty with JJ, but also too, somebody's going to come to him with a bag. There's no doubt about that. Somebody's going to come to him with a bag.
Tom thinks y'all gonna get Cooper Kupp.
Us?
That's what Tom says.
Yeah, but where do you put him? Because you got Jordan, you got JJ. Is he going to be the third guy?
I mean,
Slot?
I was gonna say that wouldn't be a bad third option.
Well, it depends. Do Minnesota run a lot of 3 wide?
Every now and then, yeah.
Yes,
They can.
Tom says slot.
But the thing is, though, is what are they asking for Cooper Kupp?
I don't know. If
they're asking for a third, then no. If you say we can give you a 7 and a 5 or a 7 and a 4, then maybe.
Right.
But I don't know. And there's some wide receivers that are coming out this year that are under the radar. That they could draft somebody young. I don't know. We'll see. But let's say that Sam Darnold goes someplace else. But we've seen that if Sam's in the right system, he's going to be good. But if he goes to another system, it's going to be a little shaky. So if he goes,
what are the quarterbacks you got there?
So
in Minnesota.
I was about to tell you this.
McCarthy.
But there's somebody else too.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
All right, so wait. So to that point, right? Hypothetically, say you let go of Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Bring Daniel Jones in, and you have a year similar to this past year. Would that make O'Connell probably one of the greatest offensive minds? Because you take two guys that the NFL kind of wrote off.
Yeah.
And when, north of 10 games with both of them, back-to-back years, that would be impressive. And if
it also depends on how they get put out the playoffs, how far they go.
If I'm JJ, I would want to be with that guy.
Oh, heck yeah.
Term. Yeah.
Well,
so what's going on with JJ anyway?
Well, so he had the knee surgery. They said he's ahead of schedule. And they look at him as being the future, but is he ready?
And That's his thing is mobility. He's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah,
he runs.
You're right.
So how will that need take to that?
Right.
JJ, I'm talking about. He's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
How many surgeries did he have on his knee? One, and it took a whole year.
Well, he got the surgery at the beginning of last year, right before the season started. He played preseason, and I think he got hurt the last preseason game.
Yeah, and so the Vikings just decided, because it was basically a meniscus, and the Vikings just decided, you know what, let's just bring him along slowly. Let's not rush this thing.
Yeah. Tom said he won 2 games with a Pastronaut, so he can do it all. I guess he's talking about what's old boy name from Tennessee, Dobbs.
Oh, yeah, Josh Dobbs. But also too, what people are failing to realize too is where did Sam Darnold spend the last 2 years before he went to the Vikings?
Carolina.
Nope.
Sam Darnold. Wasn't he in Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the Niners? Yeah, he was in San Fran. Yeah. What do you think they'll bring him back?
No, they won't bring him back. But the thing is that Kyle and Brian Greasy are the ones that got him ready. That said, okay, we see this in him. This is what we have to do. And I know this for a fact. When the Vikings were looking to sign Sam Darnold, O'Connell reached out to Kyle and Brian because he had coached. O'Connell was here. He was at the Niners a while ago.
Yeah.
And he reached out to him and said, "What do you see? What do you think?" And they said, "This is what we did. This is what we saw." And it worked. And and what Kevin O'Connell did, he put his own little twist into it as well. So, and then you got to remember too, where was O'Connell before he went to the Vikings? He was with the Rams. So he's learned from McVay and Kyle Shanahan. So he knows how to put that little twist on there. So that's the thing. And that's and we've all seen it. That certain quarterbacks get in certain systems and they don't use them right or they don't teach them right. We've seen it, right?
All right.
And now you're starting to see a kind of a resurgence of that, right?
Next receiver. Next is a receiver. Stephon Diggs. Does he stay or go?
That's going to be a mystery. I think it's a coin toss. I really do.
I agree.
That's a coin toss.
What you say, O?
I don't know, bro. If they draft a wide receiver in their first round, then he's out of Houston.
What did they draft? What, like 2021? Is that like that draft?
Yeah.
Ain't that
they're low?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also too, we got to see how Tank Dell comes back from that injury, if he's gonna be ready.
Broken leg, right?
Yeah, broken leg, and I think he tore some ligaments in his knee as well. So we got to look at that.
Yeah. Okay. DeAndre Hopkins
should retire.
He's what, 32?
Oh no, that's a good question. Let's see.
Somebody will pick him up the way that they'll pick up Amari Cooper.
How old is? Oh no, he's only 32.
Yeah,
he'll be 33 after June.
Somebody will pick him up because he's another one. He's a good route runner. He's good with the young guys. So somebody will pick him up for the experience.
Yeah.
Well, most of these cats that you're talking about, if they don't get picked up anyway, they're gonna be June 1st cuts anyway.
They're free
a lot of them maybe they won't even make it. They'll be June 1st cuts.
I think the only one that got a chance at being a June 1st cut is probably Hopkins. Because Kansas City got so much already.
But he's a free agent, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no June 1st cuts. He's a free agent, plain and simple. So if his contract expires, then any team can pick him up.
All right. That's a lot of money going out the door.
But if he's a free agent.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Next one. T, this is for you. Dre Greenlaw.
Oh, they're going to sign him. They're going to sign him.
You say he stands?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Fred Warner just restructured his contract so they can free up some more money. Plus they got what, an extra $30 million, I think, and with the salary cap going up, something like that.
Okay.
22 to 28. They still don't know yet.
Okay.
Oh, OG, let me ask you this. It's not a free agent, but with Zach Martin retiring, is it kind of a clear cut where y'all gonna go in this draft? Now?
We already got a replacement, they're saying. So.
Oh really? Oh,
the dude that filled in for him last year. So.
Oh, okay.
So that's y'all still like going after those offensive linemen though in the first round. So
that's the problem. That's why I'm like, this is the situation that depends on what we do in free agency. If we do anything, then that determines the draft.
If y'all do anything in free agency, right?
If that's why I go. I can't really speak on it until after all this is done because I don't know where we're gonna go. Because if we pick up certain pieces, we don't have to worry about the draft so early. So
Tom asked a good question. Does Debo get traded?
Yes.
Where could you see him getting traded? Put on your GM hat, T. Let us hear it. Man.
So I kind of know the list that he's already submitted of the teams that he's looking at.
Okay, go ahead, inside scoop. Let us know.
Washington,
Really?
Pittsburgh,
Really?
and I heard that Cleveland was on the list as well.
Cleveland.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but that's what I heard.
He might just want to get paid.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that people are laughing because Debo doesn't like the cold, but all the teams that he's listed are cold weather places.
True.
You know, and here's my thing is that you got to be careful what you ask for sometimes.
True.
And you know, with an organization like the Niners always try to accommodate players that don't want to be around anymore. You know, like with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
You know, they could have traded him to Carolina easily or someplace like that where it's like purgatory. They're like, well, you know what? Let's try to accommodate him. With Debo, I think it's going to be the same thing. But if it's any other organization, they'd be like, you want to leave? Okay, guess what? We're going to send you to a bad team.
What are they asking for?
I think they're.
You can't ask for much.
Well, if this was last year, they probably would have been asking for a second or a third. But his performance went down this year, right? So they'll probably ask for a third or fourth, something like that around there. I think they'll try to get the best that they possibly can.
And he's still under contract?
Yeah.
For how long?
I think he's got 2 more years left on his contract.
And he's getting a decent amount of change too, ain't he?
Oh, he's getting a nice little chunk.
So you know that's the thing too. Who want to take on all that money?
But again, I can see him possibly going to the Commanders because of the whole Adam Peters, you know, Niners connection, the whole deal there. That I can see. Because they need another one besides Scary Terry.
If you're another team, do you take the gamble and just wait and see if they really want to get rid of him, if they make him a June 1st cut, or you just make the trade now?
They won't cut him. If they can't get a trade for him, they won't cut him.
You say they won't?
They won't cut him. No.
Why? Because so much money and dead cap or something?
Yeah. Plus, you know what? And the thing is that he still has some good years in him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He really
what do you think his issue is? He's just taking so much of a pounding, being a running back, a slot receiver, you know, just doing so much. What do you think that the issue with him is?
And this is just my personal opinion. I think he knows he's not the number one anymore. Brandon Ayuk is the number one wide receiver.
What you saying? You think his feelings hurt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You know, and now you got the rookie Parasol who's coming up, and I'm not saying that he's as good as Debo, but then also too, you know. So I mean, so if you look at when you got a team that's full of very good players, when you got the McCaffreys, when you got the Kittles, when you got the Brandon Ayuks, you know, and you got Sam.
You got a lot of top tier guys. Yeah.
There you go, right there.
A lot of top tier money.
Yep.
And you still got to pay your quarterback.
I was gonna say, and a lot of top tier personalities.
But here's the thing, though, is that the way that they handle that salary cap, because again, McCaffrey they redid his contract last year or 2 years ago. Okay, Kittle restructured his contract, and he's about to get an extension. It's not going to hurt him that much on the cap. But Ayuk, yeah, they paid him last year, right? Fred Warner just restructured his contract, so they have room. You know, they have room to play with, and they're going to extend Brock Purdy. We know it's coming. You know, it's going to be sometime this year, so they have the room to do that. And they're looking at other players that are not top tier players that they're going to get rid of. That they're going to trade away or just release. That's going to save them some room. So, and I'm not saying it's easy. but they do a pretty damn good job. So
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I guess like a team like that, you have to. Well, no, I can't even say that. I would say you gotta, take it is what it is because without all these moving parts,
mhm.
are you as successful as you would be if you were the guy? If you didn't have a Kittle, Ayuk, McCaffrey, um, shit, even defensively, you didn't have a Bosa,
Or yeah,
Warner.
or if you didn't have a Fred Warner, right?
So it's one of them things like you're still a valuable piece, but it's no reason for you to fill away because you may be third option all of a sudden, fourth option. Now, I know I'm talking about all pro
Right,
football players. That's probably, a lot of them have been probably the guy their whole life till they got to the NFL,
right.
you know.
But
So,
you're right. But also too, what I think what he has to look at, and I don't think he is looking at this, is look at that. Even though you may be the third option, but you're still an option in a good offense, right?
yeah, yeah,
Guess what? That prolongs your career as well,
true.
right? Because I mean, and not that again, we know that you get some wear and tear, and Debo's missed some games, over the last few years because of the wear and tear. But if you stay with a team that's going to where you're not the featured guy all the time, your career is going to go just a few more years longer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but again, you got to be careful what you ask for,
True.
yeah, because
But
we
yeah,
know because you go to certain organizations, they don't treat the players the same way that certain organizations do.
and I think the thing about really um Pittsburgh and Cleveland, you don't even know who your quarterback gonna be. So
See,
that's like if I'm him, I'm like, what, or if I'm somebody that's talking to him, I'll be like, you sure you want to do that? Because Washington, clear cut,
right?
Jaden Jaden Daniels, but the other two is like one is
Yeah,
a good organization, but they don't even know who their quarterback gonna be.
yeah. You don't know if it's going to be Justin Fields. You don't know if it's going to be Russell Wilson. You don't even know. It could be Aaron Rodgers. You don't know. You
That'd be
know.
crazy.
You
That'd
know
be
what?
crazy.
It could be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, or could be Sam.
It could be. Yeah, we
You
don't
never
we
know.
don't know. We don't
Could
know.
be Matthew Stafford.
That one's interesting to me, and you know what? And I give the Rams and I give Stafford's agent a lot of credit because right now Matthew Stafford is playing under the quarterback minimum. He only I'm only saying only, but he only made $22 million last year. When you got quarterbacks that are making 35, 40 million, you know, Suave, make sure you wash your hands.
I got a call to make.
Yeah, okay. See, exactly. That's why I said. That's why I said wash your hands when you're done with the call. So.
I
I know I ain't got no
don't. I
fault,
don't. I don't know, man. That's a
and that's possible too, Tom. Yeah, that's a possibility. But yeah, I mean, with the way this might be the one of the most interesting free agent markets that we've seen as far as quarterbacks go, right? Because you got so many moving pieces, right?
I think it's going to be more imperative this year to get a quarterback in free agency and stuff like that because there's not a quote unquote tier of
Yes,
quarterbacks
right,
coming out. So
right.
it's not a 1, 2, 3. It's a one possible two.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? So I think you're right at that point that if you need a quarterback or looking for a quarterback, do you waste a draft pick now, or do you just pick somebody up in free agency and wait to a better class?
Well, see, and that's a great point, because if you look at it, if you need a quarterback now, and you're not going to get a Cam, or you're not going to get a Shador, you're going to have to go free agency, right?
Right.
And again, with Sam Darnold, with Justin Fields, with Aaron Rodgers, with Russell Wilson, you have those. And again, we'll know in the next week or so what's going to happen with Kirk Cousins, because he gets a bonus, I believe, the 1st of March.
Oh, you talking about next week?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Because bonuses come out the 1st of March, and then just the 1st of March.
1st of March, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's the incentive parts of the contracts, or that's the contract stuff.
That's the incentive part of the contract. So I believe that Matthew Stafford is due a $4 million roster bonus the first week in March. So that's something else that they have to look at.
Okay, but and I'm not saying that about Garoppolo, but Stafford or Garoppolo, I would go with Stafford. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real.
This is the way that I look at it. That's like, am I going to go to Jack in the Box or In-N-Out? I'm going to In-N-Out. I'm going to take In-N-Out.
And people on the West Coast, if you do not understand that comparison, what's the best way to put it? Jack in the Box is your all-around, 24-hour, after the club, greasy taco food. Mexican. You can get burgers, tacos, but it's your
It's your last
after the club. It's your club. Right. They don't close. In-N-Out closes at a certain time, and at a certain time of the day, the line can be around the corner. And they have two drive-through lines.
Yes.
Burgers, homemade fries. So when he said it's okay, we was doing cars. Let's put it this way: it's a better way. In-N-Out is Mercedes, BMW and all that. And I love Jack in the Box, but Jack in the Box is the Toyotas, the Hondas. But we're not talking Toyota to the Lexus. We're talking like Toyota Camrys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's still a good car, but it's not here. That's all.
It's what you need at the time, right? Dude, OG. I remember the first time I moved out to the West Coast and I went to a Jack in the Box and I got the taco and it had a big piece of cheese sticking out. I was like, what is this? But did it hit the spot at the time? Yeah, it hit the spot at the time. So there you go. Yeah,
it's one of them. You're out late.
Yeah.
You had a couple of too many to drink.
Yep.
And you need something to soak up some alcohol real quick. Go to Jack in the Box. I got a 2 or 3 taco meal. I'm not giving y'all no more sponsorship. So that's it. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. And I think what the Rams are doing, they're letting Stafford kind of test the market to see what his market.
What he can get.
Yeah, but if I'm the Rams after this last run that you had, which is to me was like kind of a surprising run, you don't let that man go.
Now, that's what I was going to say. How is the coaching staff? Could you even fathom doing this after, like you just said, the year that you just had with this cat?
Yep.
And I get it, getting older. I get that. But the replacement or the heir apparent is not there.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so why would you get rid of what you had for something else? What did you say? What Tom say about Del Taco?
Del Taco is like, I think he said Del Taco is Taco Bell. You know what? I won't even step foot in a Taco Bell. Hell no.
No.
I do like Del Taco. I do like Del Taco.
Yeah, you put anything compared to Taco Bell, that's just stomach aches and heartaches.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah, so one is Del Taco, one is Taco Bell. I do like Del,
yeah.
I do like Del Taco, but yeah, I mean, I think they're just having them test the market, so that way they can look at, okay, so this, the market says you're worth this. This is what we're going to offer you. And
Now,
I
will
think
the Vikings do the same thing with Sam Darnold? Or do you think they should sign him right away? No,
I think
don't
they
let
should.
him test the market at all.
I think they should sign him right away.
Okay.
And I think here's the thing with Sam Darnold too. Is Sam Darnold has been around enough bad systems to where he understands that this is a good system that I'm in. I can get paid and be successful. So I think that's where the Vikings have the advantage. Because he doesn't want to have another nightmare where he's with the Jets or he's with the Carolina.
Yeah, but also I think he has the advantage because you have your quarterback and wait.
Yeah.
If I'm Sam Darnold, you got your quarterback, so there's no reason for me to be here. So I'm gonna test the market and see what the money is.
Oh,
this is what what I mean. That's what I'm thinking. He has the better hand because he controls that situation, not the Vikings.
Well, but see, and I agree with you that if I'm a free agent, you always test the market. That's how I always look at it. You always test the market.
Okay.
Just to see where your value, where your value is. Because again, we've all been in negotiating rooms where somebody will start at a certain price and you're like, nah, I'm going to start here and then see what happens. But again,
right.
If I'm the Vikings, I'm going to try to keep him because I still don't think that JJ McCarthy is ready.
Okay.
I don't think he's ready.
No, but I mean that I understand. But you said what I was thinking, that if you're a free agent, you need to go out and see what your value is. There's no reason to say I'm gonna sign now before free agency starts.
Because it only makes sense. It only makes sense for you to see what your worth is, because now guess what? Now you have ammunition coming back to the table.
Okay.
So yeah.
So to that point, do sometimes front office take it? Do they just understand the business of sometime a player wanting to work out and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see other options," or do they, kind of feel salty about
it? So we all know that the NFL's got a bunch of alpha type egos, right?
Yep.
And the ones that kill themselves, that in my opinion that hurt themselves, are the ones that take things sometimes personally when a player wants to test free agency.
Yeah.
Where you got other GMs and coaches that say, "Hey man, go test it.
Yeah.
We're here if you want to come back, whatever it is." But I mean, I've seen it before where GMs just they get butt hurt. And there's like, well, you don't want to be here, then we're just gonna, then just go. Dude, it's not about you. It's about what they're trying to do best for their family. They're trying to see what their worth is.
That's what I was about to say. How are you mad? What is the point of getting mad or getting hurt? I mean,
dude,
getting your feelings hurt.
Dude,
it has nothing to do with you.
Exactly. But we know some people walk around with their chests all puffed out, like, yeah, I'm the GM here, so you should want to stay here.
Didn't that happen with Jerry and Dak when Dak didn't want to talk to him without his agent around or something like that? Or I say, didn't that happen with Jerry? Didn't he feel slighted because Dak didn't want to talk to him without his agent about contracts or something?
That's business. I wouldn't talk to nobody about contracts without my agent either.
Exactly, 100%.
But
I mean that's
point.
That's business.
Personal.
Yeah. Yes. And again, some people take it personal.
Yeah, but that's business.
But but also too, I've seen it when people take it personal, where it's bit them in the butt. Yeah. It's come back to haunt them.
I can see that.
But again,
Giants.
There you go.
Hey, that happened twice. Didn't the son tell him to draft Jaden Daniels, and then the other one said, "Dad, you shouldn't let go of Saquon." And imagine if you could have had both of them in New York right
now. Yeah. But the thing is though that Jaden Daniels was gone already. There was no way they were going to get Jaden.
I'm just saying, hindsight 2020. If you had a chance and you chose otherwise,
but but again, it's and I can't remember. I can't remember which athlete said this to the GM. It was one of our guys, but when he was saying, "I'm going to test the free agent market," and the GM at the time was, it wasn't Bill Walsh. Let me put it that way. And they got salty, and he says, "Okay, so let me ask you this: if you're a free agent GM and somebody came to you and said, 'Hey, we want to talk to you about coming over here. We're going to give you this,' wouldn't you listen?" And he goes, "Well, that's different." He goes, "No, it's not different. It's the same damn thing." He goes, "You're just testing the market to see." But again, some people their egos get in the freaking way. And it's terrible. And I look at people like, and I laugh like, really?
I guess I would be different because I'd be like, if you really want to go, bro. Because if you don't want to be here, why am I convincing you to stay? Honestly, I don't see how that works. I really don't see how that works.
But again, it's not like they don't want to be here. It's like they were just testing the market. They're just like trying to find out what their worth is, right?
Oh, then that's fine. Yeah, by all means, go have fun.
And that's what some of these agents or some of these athletes will do. But some of these GMs just take it as slight, like.
But like the last time a football player really had control of where they was going is when they got where they decided on where they want to go for college. Because it's like a free agency. You're going through the scholarships, but once you get to the NFL, it's kind of like you get drafted and that's it. Well, you really don't. Right. You know what I mean? Like the last time you had a chance to sit down and go through and look and check everything was trying to go into college.
Except for if you're Eli Manning.
Well, if your last name is Manning, then you kind of stuck. I mean, exactly. But you understand that situation. Yeah. But I'm just saying, in a normal free agency, the last time you had a choice was when you was trying to go to college. Yeah. So why not give me that same choice? Let me just see what it's about again. I forgot.
100%. 100%. But also too, if you're a key free agent, you want to sit down with your organization, which a lot of them do, and just kind of find out like, okay, so what changes are we looking to make? How are we improving? Because if you're a team that is like, that didn't even make the playoffs last year, that's terrible, and your free agent said, you tell your free agent, well, we're kind of status quo. We'll add a piece here, piece there. You're like, well, wait a minute. We only won 5 games, and you say we're kind of status quo.
Question. Let me ask you a question before you continue, real quick.
Yeah.
Now, when you say have them kind of talks, are those talks during the exit meetings, or those talks after the season is over, and you kind of have a talk to figure out the contract? Are those talks you have in that exit meeting though?
So yeah, so what you can do, and if you're a free agent, to me,
yeah,
this is my
especially if you're a free agent.
Yeah, if you're a smart player, so let's say you're a free agent, okay, you have those talks during the exit meeting, but then also too, if you're still negotiating with the team or you think about coming back, you can still ask those questions as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now if you're under contract, if you're a smart player, you have those talks during the exit meetings. Okay. And the smart GMs and the smart coaches will tell you during your exit meeting, okay, this is where we're looking, first of all, they'll tell you like, okay, this is where we think you need to improve. This is where we need to improve to make you a more successful player. But these are the holes that we need to fill as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you started saying that, I didn't want to forget about the exit meeting. So go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what? And sometimes the exit meetings are funny because I've sat in a couple of those exit meetings, and some of the words that come out of the players' mouths, I sit there and look at them like, did you just really say that?
Damn.
I mean, because again, you got all these personalities that come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the players said one time, like, and he was right. But and again, I had to laugh when he said this. He goes, "What are we going to do about this goddamn food that's coming through this damn building?" And I just, kind of turned my head because I'm about to lose it. I was about to laugh so freaking hard.
So
oh
real
my
quick,
yeah.
see, that made me think about something. What is a normal during the season? What is a normal Monday like?
Oh my God. Well, okay, so it's so different with different teams. Teams is different. So with us, that our guys would come in and they would get their lifts in, and we had guys that would come in sometimes at 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is.
Okay.
Then you would have meetings at 8. So like special teams usually with us was the first thing, and then you go to position meetings. Then you have lunch. Some guys would lift during lunch, and then we would just basically have like a walkthrough. We wouldn't have practice. We would just have a walkthrough, okay, and go over some certain things. And some guys would come and lift afterwards. So I would get to the facility sometimes. Well, not sometimes, but between 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, because some guys come in early. So I'm always there to set up. And sometimes I wouldn't go home until like 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Right.
So, but
So
yeah.
No, go ahead, because it's still on that lines. But go ahead.
And I was going to say that some guys, after our walkthroughs, some guys would stay afterwards, and again, they would get a lift in, or they would watch film, they would get treatment, whatever they need. Some guys, right after the walkthroughs, they're showered, they're out the door. They're like, I'm out. Because Tuesday is a day off.
Okay. That makes sense.
So the Monday that you're talking about is if you don't have a Monday night game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, even like if you even if you have a Sunday night game, we may push the schedule back a little bit more, but some guys still like to come in early.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just their nature, and of course, we had to be there to get ready for them.
Because it's interesting. Because because you told us about it before, but I forgot who did it. I forget who he played for, but they pretty much did like a Sunday edition, like a football player Sunday. They did the game, and they was pretty much back at home by like 10 o'clock that night. I was like, damn, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
because just y'all in and out. Hey, up on the stand here, get back home.
Yeah. So we used to be on the East Coast a lot because in our division was Atlanta, Carolina, St. Louis, New Orleans.
That's right. The old NFC West.
Now say it again. Say it again. Who?
New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, and St. Louis.
Oh, wow.
That was our division. Okay.
Yeah, y'all was on the East Coast a lot.
Yeah, we were. So we would fly in, except for maybe St. Louis, but the other times we would fly in on Friday. Okay. And so the games would start at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And as soon as the games are done, we're backed up and on the plane and we're back here. So we would land, say, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you go home, and then you come in the next morning. But there's sometimes where if we had a long week and we played a good game, sometimes Mooch will give us Mondays off, or we will give the players Mondays off.
So do y'all ever stay in the city after the game? Unless it's a mechanical issue or something like that. That don't even stop y'all neither.
No. So, but I told you guys this one where we were in Philadelphia on a Sunday night game, and we were horrible, and we weren't going to the playoffs, but we beat them, and we knocked them out of the number 1 seed.
Oh yeah, you did tell us, and they was throwing batteries at y'all.
They were throwing snowballs with AA batteries in the damn snowballs, and I'm like ducking behind the players putting their helmets on. See? And we get to the airport, and somebody called them the bomb threat.
We're gonna clip this and tag Ty in it. Just FYI.
Okay.
Oh God,
Yeah.
please.
Taya, look what y'all did. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they called it a bomb threat. First of all, they told us that our plane was broken, that there's nothing they could do. So they divided us up.
Oh,
They
wow.
they divided the teams up, and so because they had smaller planes. So I was on the second plane, and I didn't get back here till like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so I get back here, and I saw, of course, I might have my bag. So all I did was shower, and I went in the training room, and I took like a 30-minute nap on one of the tables because I knew players were going to probably start coming in. So we're in a team meeting. We're talking about this, and they said, yeah, somebody called in a bomb threat, and that's why we had to take two different planes.
That is crazy.
It's Philadelphia for you. What do you expect? But yeah, but that was the only time. That was the only time that I technically stayed overnight in a city.
but
for
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, because I was going to ask another question about that, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but to your question, it wouldn't really make sense to stay overnight. You've done what you came to do, so
get the hell out. You want to go?
No, but I get it. But if you got a Sunday night game,
and
you go into overtime, and it's you on the East Coast, and that game don't end to 1-2 in the morning.
You're still flying out. You're still flying
out.
Okay. Because the thing is though is that our reservations are only from, so let's say we fly in Friday, our reservations only
until
Friday, right, and then we're out
till Sunday. You're checking out Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, it makes sense, but you never know. Sometimes they may be like, "Fuck it, let's just stay."
Yeah.
Well, unless, right. And this has never happened to us, but unless there's like bad weather where you can't leave, leave, and they
snowstorm. Or something.
Right, and I will tell you this: our logistics team at the time, and actually, one of the guys that was on our logistics teams is still there now. They're so good at contingency plans, just in case.
Okay.
That they always have a backup. They always have a backup. Now I'll tell you this: some teams don't. Some teams, their people aren't as good as what we had.
Now, is it uncommon? Yeah. This is just popped in my head. Then I'm done. Is it uncommon for a West Coast team? I don't know if you guys have done it, but I think I've heard a couple of teams do it. They will have back-to-back games on the East Coast, and they'll just stay.
Yeah. So
instead of coming back and then going back out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So they started doing that about, I want to say maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So like with the Niners, what they'll do is, like if they played, let's say they played in Cleveland, okay, and the Yorks are from Ohio anyway, so there's a facility I believe that they use like in Ohio or West Virginia, that they'll stay at for that week, and then let's say they're playing in New England, okay, that they'll do that because it makes sense to do that. We never did that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we never did that. But teams, but to me, it makes sense, right? Because you're not traveling back and forth. So,
and that takes a lot out of your body. I mean, jet lag is real. I've really experienced it, but it is definitely real.
Dude, you see, they do that a lot now with with the Jags playing over in what is that, Europe, London?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They just
that I understand.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying they just keep them. Play 2 games over there and then come back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when teams fly out here to the West Coast, so let's say they're playing the Niners and then they're playing San Diego or Arizona the next week, they'll stay out here. They'll find the accommodations. They'll find a school or college that they can practice at, and they do it that way.
Okay.
There's
no more San Diego, T. There's no more San Diego.
Oh, did I say San Diego? The damn Chargers.
I mean, you said that so smooth. I was like, San Diego. Let's go San Diego.
At that point, I'm gonna just let them cook. We just gonna let them cook.
Hey,
we know it. Hey, what your parent used to tell you, you know what I meant. You know what I
meant. OG, I could have said that. I could have said the Tijuana Chargers. So. But but OG, when you talk about jet lag, that shit is real. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because this happened to me every year when we would go to the combine. I kid you not, it would take me about 2 days to actually get acclimated to the freaking time.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're losing.
What is that? 2 hours?
So no,
2 hour difference.
Is Indiana there?
I think because Indiana's an hour ahead. In Indianapolis, yes.
Yeah.
It's an hour ahead. Yeah.
So they're East Coast time.
Yeah.
Right.
They're East Coast.
Exactly.
So that's 3 hours from my time.
That's 3 hours. Yeah.
So so usually what we would do is we would fly in like the night before the combine would start.
Okay.
And then we're at the damn facility getting ready for shit at 6 o'clock in the damn morning. So my body is still on West Coast time. I was like, are you kidding? And you're there, and I kid you not, we're there from 6 o'clock to maybe it's about a good 8 hour day, sometimes maybe a little longer. And then there's stuff that we have to do afterwards. Because what we would do is we would take all the body compositions of all the players that are coming through, test their body fat. And this is just me and my boss. And then we would manually enter them into the computer, print them out, and give it to each team. We did that.
We
freaking did that. Niners? We did that. Yes.
Damn.
So y'all print out 32 of those, or?
Hell yeah. Yes.
200 players. Damn. God.
We did that because my boss, and again, he's one of the smartest men I know in my life. He started that years ago, and nobody else wanted to do it. But we're all strength and conditioning coaches there. But because my boss said, "Look, this is the way that we should do this," again, nobody else wanted to do it. Nowadays it's different because now they have so many different. They have all this tech that they can do it, and it gives it to you right away. But we're the ones that would take all the body comps and manually enter it. So we're still up at night putting all that shit in. You're having dinner.
Got to get up and make.
Right.
So are they coming in groups? Are they coming in groups like we see them on TV, like the DBs or O linemen? Or are they just coming in?
No, they're coming in groups. So whatever group that's coming in that's scheduled to do their workouts,
y'all get them the day before.
Right. So yeah. So they would come in. So let's say like when you see them like they don't show this anymore. So like they would do their height and their weight, the whole deal.
Right.
So after they would do all that, they would come over to us and we would take their body comp like right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so guess what? Then after we would do that, then the group would go over to do the bench press. I'm the one that would go over there and watch them do the bench press and take all the notes on that while my boss is entering stuff in the computer, right? And I'm watching them do the broad jump, all that other stuff. And then I would get all whatever the results were, and I would bring them back to him while he's doing the body comp. And then he's entering, then I'm reading off numbers to him, like so and so did this on the bench press. So then he did this on the broad jump. He did this on the vertical jump.
Now, are you just looking at certain players or all 200?
We're looking at everybody.
Shit.
Everybody.
So you just follow the group as they go to the new, and then when it gets another group, you follow them. So in other words, you working. You was working with no sleep.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, you say maybe it was an 8 hour day. You still out of there about 2 o'clock?
It's longer. Well, so
yeah, but
I would say it's an 8 hour. It's an 8 hour day inside the facility.
Oh, okay.
Because even
You still got to put all that stuff in.
right, because even when the players are done and they're gone, we're still thinking about okay, the next group that's coming in for the next day, and we're putting everything in, and then also too, our medical team, we would sit down with our medical team and talk about certain injuries that certain players would have that are coming in.
Wow.
You know, it's and people think, oh, that's nothing, dude. They think that we just show up to the combine and we watch. No,
Right.
no, we're taking in everything.
And I was like Swab. I just thought maybe y'all took a handful, but you talking about the whole group
Every
and
O-line, every D-line,
and going to all the different things that they got to do
all the
to write down the information for. Oh my God!
But I think too though with the combine, the good thing is everybody has their day. So it's like, all right, it's just O-line, D-line today.
Yep.
It ain't O-line, D-line, receivers on line.
Oh yeah.
That's the smartest thing they do.
Yeah, but that's just back to back though.
I get it 100%, but you ain't got to go from O-lineman to wide receiver.
No.
But you also don't forget you working off no sleep to get there to begin with.
Yeah. Well, and then also too is people forget about the individual meetings that you have with players. So, so you have interviews with certain players as well.
Oh, now wait a minute, wait. You do all that stuff and then you go into the meetings with your specific team that you're for, or you go into meetings with other people to explain the information that you got for that player?
Okay, so here's what you do. So you have certain players that you're looking at, right? That you say the top, I don't know, say the top 20. I'm just throwing a number out. Okay. Or that we're really interested in. So we have our own little setup to where we bring in a player and we interview them for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then they go to the next team.
Okay. Oh, the team meeting portions. Okay.
Yeah. So you have that, and then after everything is said and done, everybody's gone, and after we put in numbers, then our team would get together and talk about certain athletes and go through the list.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But I will tell you this. So OG, this is the way that I'm going to relate it to you. So let's say that you're in the studio in a recording session, and it's something that you love and it's so good that you just don't even think about no sleep until you get up and you walk it out like oh shit, I'm tired, and then you think about the day. So yeah. So I mean, so we get to see the top athletes come through.
I mean, he's talked about it though with his sessions with Snoop and all them.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun after the fact, but when you're going through that motion, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
But sometimes you don't even think about it, right?
That's true. No, I get what you're saying. No, I get it.
And the only difference between what we did and what you did is that we didn't have alcohol and weed in the room. We had snacks, but we didn't have all the other stuff. You know?
We had snacks too. And I'm not talking about snacks out the vending machine.
Yeah, there you go. See, exactly. So but again, you don't realize it until you're done for the day and you sit down and you're like, oh my God, like I'm beat, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
I mean, I know it's fun. I know it. I mean, because that's why you do it. But that's a lot.
But I will tell you, when you get certain athletes that come through that have attitudes, and you're working on no sleep, oh my God,
that's when it becomes hectic.
Oh yeah, and I will tell you guys, because you guys, we've known each other for a while now. There's times when an athlete would say something to me, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" Like, I'm just like, dude, it's a privilege for you to be here.
Wow.
And you know me, they call me King Petty for a reason, because I remember shit like that.
Oh God!
Please don't let that athlete get drafted by us, because I will bring it up. I brought it up to them. Like,
do me a favor, King Petty.
yeah.
Let everybody know we'll see him next week. We'll see y'all later.
He free.
Next week. Hey, where was Kev today? We missed Kev.